Welcome to the NiFTy Chick. In this episode, we chat with Lisa Carmen Wang, founder of Bad Bitch Empire. This chick is truly a badass based on her accomplishments. She's a Forbes 30 under 30 venture capitalist, former Olympic-level U.S. national gymnast, and she is on a mission to guide 1 million bad bitches investing together to fund the next billion-dollar businesses. Let's do this, bitches.
Welcome to the NiFTy Chick. I am so excited for our guest that we have on the show today. We have Lisa Carmen Wang with the Bad Bitch Empire. I have been following you for quite some time now, and I'm just super excited to have you here. You have quite a long list of accomplishments. You were Fast Company executive board member, Forbes 30 under 30, venture capitalist, Entrepreneur Magazine's 100 Most Powerful Women, and also a former Olympic level U.S. national champion and Hall of Fame gymnast, which is near and dear to my heart. I never did anything remotely close to, the levels you did in gymnastics, but I, participated when I was a kid and loved it. So welcome to the show, Lisa. Do you want to give us a little bit more background about you and how you got into NFTs and the Bad Bitch Empire?
Sure. So I'll start with the definition of a bad bitch. And I say a bad bitch is a woman who unapologetically takes charge of her body, her boundaries, and her bank account. And what makes a bad bitch is she knows what she wants and she knows she's going to get it. And that's how she really manifests the abundance in her life, the unapologetic worth and wealth that is really at the foundation of what the Bad Bitch Empire is all about. So our focus is helping women step into their bad bitch energy to build the worth and the wealth that will allow them to actually create the change and impact they want in the world. And so my background was really, as you mentioned, as a gymnast. I grew up over 10 years really learning the discipline, the focus required to build towards a big dream. And I think, though, one of the things, the defining parts of learning to embrace who I am today is I talk a lot about good girl brainwashing. And this is also the societal and media messages that have taught women that we need to be polite and pleasing and perfect and nice and obedient in order to be successful. And that was the good girl mentality I had growing up for the majority of my life. It was get the straight A's, be perfect, get the perfect tens, get into the Ivy League school, get a good job. And there was just a moment in my life after I started working on Wall Street, and I really started realizing that there's a gap between the accomplishments and feeling truly enough, right? You can externally accomplish all these things and get all this validation, but deep down, if you don't realize and you don't feel that confidence, feel like you're enough, people will sense that, especially in male-dominated workplaces. And so having worked in Wall Street, then going into Silicon Valley, then, venture capital and tech and all of these industries that I've been in, especially as a young woman of color, and realizing that my energy really spoke. And when you give off insecure, good girl energy, people do take advantage of that, right? And I talk about the small paper cuts. And the small paper cuts are the things that women experience, especially in the workplace, of being overlooked, undervalued, assumed as inferior. And we never really talk about those things and how they affect both our feelings of self-worth as well as our wealth, our ability to negotiate, our ability to get, to get promotions and get higher senior roles. And so all of that comes together to really inform the work that I'm doing today, which is about closing the funding gap, getting more women into that abundance mindset so they can build financial independence and financial freedom from both the investing side. So I have the Bad Bitch Investor Bootcamp, which is training women how to become angel investors, how to invest in women-led businesses, and then training women on who are building businesses to build the confidence to fundraise, to really dream bigger and think about the impact they can make. And so the Bad Bitch Empire also has a venture fund that invests solely in female-led businesses, and our focus is on fintech as well as femtech, because I believe that the two largest areas of disruption are in economic empowerment for women as well as the healthcare system for women's bodies. But all of that, that's really what's going on in the empire. But I think to your question about Web3 and NFTs, so the Bad Bitch Empire launched a year ago with the Bad Bitch Bitcoin Bootcamp, and that was to train women on getting into Web3, making their first investments in crypto and NFTs. And what was really interesting is that we had thousands of women join us for the boot camp, and I asked them, why did you join this? Because there was a lot of women who had never heard of NFTs, right? Who were totally not in the space at all. And interestingly, it was the smallest amount of women said, I'm genuinely interested in learning how to invest in this asset class, and I want to learn all the ins and outs. The second group said, I am interested in financial empowerment and financial freedom, and I've heard about this crypto Bitcoin thing, so I wanted to see what this is all about. But the largest group of women by far said, I have no idea what this crypto thing is, but I saw Bad Bitch and I want to learn how to become a bad bitch. And if that means I got to invest in this thing, like, teach me. So I think that there's this emphasis and just really wave of women who are coming into their power, or really wanting to unleash that power that's been suppressed for so long inside of them. And that comes hand in hand with learning how to invest, learning how to take control of your money. And Web3 and NFTs and crypto is all part of that narrative. And I think it's a new wave of it. But I think it having that intersection between the Web3 world as well as just some of these fundamental human truths for the desire to have freedom and respect and power in your own life is really where I see the collision and the partnership between the future of Web3 and where we are at this really powerful inflection point in history as women are rising into power.
Oh my gosh, that literally gives me chills. This just makes me so excited. And I'm like vibing on this energy so hard right now. This is amazing. So, but I want to ask this question because I have felt this kind of internal battle. Talk to me about imposter syndrome, because here I am. I also grew up as like a figure skater, and like I was very much in a box, and I've needed to break away from the mold that everyone told me I needed to be, into kind of finding my own truth. But along the way, I struggled with imposter syndrome, because here I want to be a bad bitch. I want to have that energy, but I also feel like I shouldn't have that energy, and that I don't deserve that energy. So talk to me about people who, women especially, who struggle, who see the brand, who are like, yes, I want this, but I also don't feel like it's me, or like I deserve this. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I say to my coaching clients and community is always, there's nothing enlightened about shrinking yourself to make other people feel comfortable. And as women, we have been trained to feel comfortable playing small, feel comfortable diminishing ourselves for the sake of making other people feel comfortable so that they're not threatened by our power. And it makes it so that it becomes a habit, that it becomes a habit to be like weak and insecure, right? It's like we've learned how to occupy that persona because that is what the world accepts and expects from us. And so when a woman does break out of that and claim her own power and her independence and say, you know what, my opinion of myself matters the most, and if as long as I know I'm doing good work and I have good intentions, then that is what matters to me. And that's what matters the most. But a woman who does that has traditionally been labeled a bitch, right? Because she has strong opinions and she has strong boundaries. And so that fear that so many of us have of being called a bitch or being called cold or mean is so deep inside of us. And I think that's part of this breaking free of the good girl brainwashing and really embracing, like, taking back ownership even of the word bitch, which is, I say, language is so important because it shapes the way we think. And so the word bitch has been used against women to basically weaponize our power and make us ashamed of being strong and assertive. And so I think if you are struggling with imposter syndrome, think about the work and the impact that you want to create in the world to help others. And so if you genuinely are doing work that is going to help others, think about how it's actually the most selfish thing you can do is to hide it and not share it, because then you are robbing other people of the gift of what you could offer to them. And so it's like when you are consumed with your own insecurities and yourself, that's actually the most selfish thing you can do. The most selfless, empowering thing you can do is share your gifts with the world. And so I always frame it like that every time I feel like a little bit insecure about what will people say about me. And certainly it hasn't been easy sometimes with the brand bad bitch, right? There's a lot of men especially who are like, I don't know, still intimidated by it, or they they can't do it. But there's also a lot of men who love it, who are like, yeah, I know bad bitches in my network, and like I'd love to support. So I think it's important to assert opinions, that you strongly held opinions about the change you want to see in the world, and then you start to see who actually is supportive and who actually is on board, and it allows you to bring the right team on board in the journey.
I love it. I love the branding. It's NiFTy. I think you are actually the person who maybe first told me about Lisa and what she was doing. And when we were preparing to talk to you, Lisa, I was like looking at everything that you have done, and I thought, oh my gosh, NiFTy and Lisa are like the same. The difference is figure skater and gymnast. So I was super excited when we were talking, before we hit record on this, about what you've got coming up with the Bad Bitch Bible and an NFT that comes along with it and all that. So tell me more about what it is you're doing and how basically everything comes together. I'm super excited, and I know for certain I'm pre-ordering the book.
Yeah, so I have been working on this book, my book, for the past 2 years, and it's called The Bad Bitch Business Bible. It's the 10 commandments to breaking free of good girl brainwashing and taking charge of your body, your boundaries, and your bank account. And it really is a culmination of all of the lessons that I have learned over the past couple decades, as everything from being a gymnast to Wall Street to Silicon Valley to an entrepreneur to an investor. And it's all the lessons that you're never going to be taught in business school about launching, scaling, fundraising a business, and then really taking charge of your finances. And so the Bad Bitch Business Bible is going to unlock and give you access to the Bad Bitch Empire NFT that you'll be able to claim for free. So it's really the Bible is giving you access to the empire. And then when you claim that NFT, you are going to get access to the Bad Bitch Bootcamp, which is a 30-day training to help you level up, bring out your bad bitch energy. It's really 30 days of self-love and learning how to love your body, your boundaries, and your bank account. So it's a whole audio program with trainings and journal prompts and meditations and exercises, and you'll have the opportunity to go through that with a whole cohort of bad bitches who are pre-ordering the book and joining the community. So I'm really excited about that, because it's something that when I think about the biggest thing that has helped me over the course of my career is really mindset, right? I think everything comes down to mindset. And I meet so many incredible, talented, successful women who continue to fixate on their faults, on their flaws, on why they're not good enough. And I think in order to actually create change systemically and build wealth that will allow us to create the change that we want to see in the world, we need to have that unapologetic mindset to really believe that we deserve all the things that we want, and that we have the power to do so.
It's just literally, it continues to everything that you say just continues to give me chills. It resonates with everything that I want to be and I strive to be. So talk to me about like, so someone who is listening to this podcast, they're like, okay, I've never heard of Bad Bitch Empire. Like, why should someone take the leap and go explore what you guys are doing? What are they really going to get from it, and who is it really for?
Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's for any woman who is ambitious in her career, who wants to create a bigger impact, whether you are transitioning in your career, you're thinking about launching or fundraising for your first business, you are interested in financial empowerment and want to learn how to invest, or you want to find a community of empowered women. This is your place to really join a movement of women who are, reclaiming their power, who are learning how to invest their money in a way that is actually going to create both profit and impact. And so by the time this episode airs, we've been working a long time on this investment platform that will really give you access, as whether you're an investor or you're a business owner that's raising money. This platform will allow you to get access to invest in women-led businesses, to get access to women investors. And so there's this, I really see it as a movement, because I don't think that there's any other platform out there that's really connecting both sides, the investing as well as the fundraising aspect, through Web3 and through community.
Oh, sign me up. I'm ready. I'm ready for this boot camp.
badbitchempire.com and just get on our email newsletter and you'll get access to all of it.
Oh, it's so cool. So as we wrap, because I know that you've got a busy day ahead of you, I want to hear, is there anything that you want to leave with the audience that they should know about you or about what you guys are doing? Or obviously you've got the Bible coming around the corner, and the NFT launch right around the corner. So anything else you want to share as far as tidbits for our audience to hear?
Yeah. So
Also, can I just add?
Yeah.
Can I just add, what date is the Bible going to be out? Do you have a date yet?
It should, depending when it, yeah. So whenever this airs, by June, it will be ready. So by the time this is out, it will definitely be ready.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah. So I do want to talk and spend a little bit of time on angel investing, aka investing in high growth startups, and especially the focus of, what the Bad Bitch Empire is all about is investing in high growth women-led startups. And I think a lot of times we hear investing in women as like, it's been framed as like social impact. And I think that that is not the way that we need to see it, because there's so much business case to show that investing in women is going to be one of the most lucrative returning asset classes that you can see over the next decade, because women now control 85% of all consumer spending. We influence over 70% of household financial decisions. And we are reaching this really powerful inflection point where over 40% of primary breadwinners at home are women. And by the end of the decade, there will be a massive transfer of wealth. So $30 trillion, aka 2/3 of all US wealth, will transfer into the hands of women with this generational change. And so all that to say is we have been in a society that has been built by and for men in the male perspective. So when we think of the healthcare system, right? 80% of healthcare workers are women, but women are only 5% of healthcare leaders. So men are still making decisions about women's bodies. And so whether that is legally, whether that is economically, whether that's politically. And so the reason that happens is because women have never had the opportunity to invest in the types of leaders and founders that are actually building systems for women. And when you think about the economic system, the same thing is true, where 96% of all investors today are men. So those men are more likely to fund another man who's building a company that is within their realm of understanding. And so I really want to emphasize that if you are interested in investing, there is no better time to really start thinking about your money as a opportunity to both make an impact and make profit. Like, one of the biggest mistakes women make is that they don't invest their money. They have it sit in their bank accounts. And because of the inflation rate and because of the way the economy is, if you are leaving money in your bank account and it's not being invested, you are literally losing money every day, because that inflation rate is greater than your savings rate. And so there are many, many ways for you to invest, but our emphasis is when you invest in high growth businesses, that money, if you're investing in things that are making an impact and venture scalable, you have the opportunity to not only make an impact, but to make a profit significantly more than you would have putting it in your bank account. And so we're really focused on shifting this mindset of money and saying, you have the ability to vote with your dollar in terms of where you invest it. And when you invest it, you're not losing money. I think that's the big thing that needs to shift. It's like there's a lot of fear in investing your money and like you're never going to see it. But that's very different when you're focused on investing in businesses that you understand what sort of impact they're going to make. So there's a lot more that I can talk about, but also as part of the Bad Bitch Empire NFT. So when you pre-order the Bad Bitch Business Bible, you're going to get access to the free NFT, which will get you access to the Bad Bitch Bootcamp, which is 30 days of self-love, and the introduction to becoming a bad bitch investor, which is, I define that as a woman who invests her money in other women. And so you'll also have a taste of really understanding a bit more about investing and how you can get involved there.
That's right. And of course, let me just mind you that women make on average 0.4% or 40 basis points more than men as investors. So we already are winning there. Let's just keep on keeping on, right? Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. We have natural abilities that actually make us better long-term investors. So there is that research that men tend to have greater short-term returns because they are trading more frequently. They're like trying to optimize for that little gain here and there. But women, we tend to, on average, take a bit longer to make investment decisions. We do all the research. We want to know the details. We want to feel comfortable with it. But when we do make the decision, we're committed and we don't trade as impulsively as men do. And so when you look at the long-term returns, which is really what investing is all about, you actually see that women have a higher return on average.
Sure do. That's what I like to hear.
Love it. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Lisa, for being here. This has been great. And I can't wait to get my hands on the Bible. Tell our listeners what's the best way to connect with you? Is it Twitter, or where are you the most active?
Yeah, so I am the most active on Instagram. So Instagram is at Lisa Carmen Wang, and then the Bad Bitch Empire. You can find all of our updates there.
Awesome. And we'll be sure to link to all that in the show notes as well.
Awesome. Okay, great.
Thanks,
Thank you so much.
So, wow, GenFT, it's like I said, I've been following her and watching her journey online for quite some time now. And the thing that I just love about her is the branding and the messaging is so on point with the Bad Bitch Empire. I mean, everything about it, I'm just like, love it. So honestly, I cannot wait to get my hands on the Bible and really start diving in, even further into what she's doing and get in that community.
So same. I mean, I feel like we are twins, and I feel like I just want to be her even more so than I feel like I already align with her. She's just so
like
incredible.
I said, when I was looking at everything about her, I was like, are GenFT and Lisa like kind of the same person?
Yes, I feel it. I feel it. And I absolutely love her vibe, and I love it that and it's such a bold move to like build a brand with such a kind of a risque type of title. It's just so good, and I love it. And she's just so unapologetically herself, and I just love everything about it.
It's so good. Hopefully, so I want to tell all of our listeners, make sure that you check out the show notes for this for all the links. And you're definitely going to want to get your hands on the Bad Bitch Business Bible by Lisa. And, that being said, you're going to want to follow us on our socials. You can find us at the NiFTy Chicks. That's the NiFTy, NiFTy, Chicks, CHICKS. And, you can find us on all your favorite social media platforms. So there you have it.
That's right. And as always, thank you so much for listening to the NiFTy Chicks. Always remember, invest in yourself because you are worth it.
Please listen carefully to the following disclaimer. Neither the host nor the guests of the NiFTy Chicks podcast are acting in the capacity of financial advisors. We wish to remain transparent and impartial to the NFT community at all times, and therefore, the content provided by the NiFTy Chicks hosts and guests are intended for general information purposes only. Nothing written or discussed by the NiFTy Chicks hosts and guests should be construed or relied upon as investment, financial, legal, regulatory, accounting, tax, or similar advice. Nothing should be interpreted as a solicitation to invest in any cryptocurrency or NFT, and nothing herein should be construed as a recommendation to engage in any investment strategy or transaction. Please be advised that it is in your own best interest to consult with investment, legal, tax, or similar professionals regarding any specific situation and any prospective transaction decisions. You must do your own research when considering investing in cryptocurrencies or NFTs. We are simply sharing our journey with you as we learn more about the world of NFTs. Happy minting.